So this is gonna be the transition for me to talk about perfectionism, okay? Yeah, so I finally decided to kickstart this podcast, or as you have heard in my intro, would be a passion project of mine after like a year of contemplation. Like I've thought about starting a podcast since I don't know, last year or even way before that, to be honest with you. It's just that I did not want to believe it because the moment I sort of like believe that I want to start a podcast, I have to sort of make it happen, and I would like to delay that as much as possible or procrastinate that as much as possible. As some of you are aware, I've been struggling with perfectionism for the most part of my life. Here I am. I finally decided to just bite the bullet and started recording myself after years of contemplation. Just really put my voice out there, wherever out there may be, to allow myself to make mistakes in the process instead of waiting and planning for every single aspect of this podcast to be perfect before publishing anything at all. And as you can see from my previous episodes as well, there are episodes where the background music was a little bit too loud or it was not really compatible, at least in my point of view. It grinds my gears because I feel like my whole life I've been striving for perfectionism, and it's not something that I can just shake it off, because if I could, I would. And trust me, man, I well and truly, man and woman, I trust one, I well and truly know that I'm still a work in progress. I'm learning and I'm constantly reassuring myself that not every single detail needs to be planned to a T before I start doing something, especially something out of my comfort zone. Oh yeah, speaking of tea as well, I actually consume like chai. Recently ginger chai, but I stopped doing that for like a couple of weeks now because I ran out of ginger powder. Yeah, but I drink like chai, or like in other words tea with soy milk every single morning. Amazing, not gonna lie. I used to be a coffee, I wouldn't say addict because that sounds extremely pretentious. I'm probably not at a level of addict where I'm like shaking and like salivating and just foaming at the mouth when I'm not having any caffeine shots into my body first thing in the morning. But I do enjoy a good cup of soy flat white extra hot from time to time. I know that by ordering extra hot with your soy flat white, it sort of like messes with the coffee flavor profile. But hey, it is what it is, right? Like my preference is to have a beverage which is warm enough for me instead of something lukewarm. But to be fair, cafe doesn't really serve it at a lukewarm temperature. It's around like what, 60 something to 70 something if I'm mistaken. I think typically 60 something. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But anyhow, that's just way too cold for me. I think growing up in an Asian household, my dad has forcefully reinforced me or the habit of drinking really hot soup. That fella, what he did was, when I'm drinking soup or whatever it is, and I ask him, oh yeah, is it hot? Because I want to gauge how hot it is before I like burn my entire intestines, right? And he'd be like, no, 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 it's really cold. Bloody hell, I'll just take like one sip and I'll just burn my entire tongue and I can't feel or eat anything the entire day because it's just like tasteless. So thanks, Dad. Anyhow, please don't take this personally, I hope. But yeah, you kind of docked me on that one. And also the fact that my dad did once tell me that you know like pork lard on like curry mee and like Hokkien mee. My dad told me, oh yeah, the pork lard is kacang. So in other words, kacang means peanut. So I'm like, okay, kacang on curry mee or Hokkien mee, what the fuck? Why are they putting kacang on it? But okay lah, I love kacang, what? I love peanuts, so I eat lah. So anyhow, I ate it. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, doesn't taste like peanut at all. Why are you lying to me, bro? Anyhow, why I started this podcast is because I just want to be completely candid and transparent and just like off the pill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not on any pills aside from like vitamin B12. Of course, I feel like that's really vital if you're on a plant-based diet or vegan diet. Not saying that I am on a vegan or plant-based diet, but predominantly, yes, I do my best to consume as little amount of milk and meat as much as possible with as little as possible. But speaking of meat and milk is not something that I crave because I have lactose intolerant. No. I am lactose intolerant. I have lactose intolerance. And the moment I drink milk, that's it. It's over. It's over. Thank you. But meat it's a bit of a strange one. Like if you ask me something, because a lot of people ask me like, yo, don't you miss meat? Haha, like why are you lying to yourself? You just don't want to eat meat. I mean, yo, don't you miss meat, bruv? Like, oh, don't you miss meat, man? You just lying to yourself, bruv. Like, you want it, bruv. Just eat it, bruv. The thing is that It's strange. Like, ever since I started consuming more vegetables and tofu, I consume tofu almost on a daily basis. Like, I just stopped craving for meat. And this is not just because I'm too lazy to head to Woolies or Coles to grab meat and cook them or whatever it is, but even when the option is presented in front of me and it's the same price as, the vegetable option, I would still go with the vegetable option knowing that it's more beneficial for me, at least health-wise. Know what I'm saying? And what's strange is that initially health was like the sole factor that sold me on this whole sort of like lifestyle or like diet. Right now I'm choosing it out of choice because I actually enjoy it much more than meat, which is insane. But I don't know, I think I just want to explore the possibility of like, okay, what meat do I miss at the moment, just to be completely candid. I guess fried chicken, maybe like a solid piece of fried chicken. But even if you give me like, I don't think I can binge on like one full bucket of like KFC. I previously could smash probably half a bucket, not the full bucket. But right now, I probably eat one piece and it's like, oh God, like, just crack my neck and snap it in half or something. Oh, roasted pork belly is something else though. Like, I actually really like roasted pork belly, but the belly part, it's like the middle fatty part is just like way too much, man. Like, what the hell? It's just like jelly. It's like, what the hell? It's like roast deep. What? It's like roasted jelly. It's a bit gross lah, to be honest. Confession, I actually do like cut out the fatty parts and throw, throw. I told my dad as well. I was like, yo, I want to eat, roasted pork belly. I've been craving for it as well. But please get the part where it's like more meat than fat. And you know what he did? He went all the way to the market one day and he was like, yo, give me the most fat. And like the whole pork belly is like 90% fat. And I threw 90%, I just basically eat the skin. Just eat the top layer, just the skin and like the bottom part, the salty flavor. It's just like one dot, probably even like same size as the skin. So my dad probably buy like, I don't know, 30 ringgit of like pork belly. The value that I consume is probably like what? Less than 3 ringgit. Just bloody the skin and the bottom part. But whoa, what am I talking about again? As you can see, this Low High Trips podcast would predominantly be unscripted because I'm challenging myself to freely express my train of thought without judgment, while knowing that I will be sidetracked along the way of this journey. And one confession as well, I'm extremely insecure about my voice and how I sound. But through this podcast, I will remain open and transparent regarding my journey with vulnerability and self-acceptance. And if you personally struggle with challenges that I've just described, please feel free to reach out to me if that's something that you're comfortable with. Like I would love to hear your experiences and the strategies that you've implemented to better manage and cope with them. Side note, I would like to highly recommend the book Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. The author challenged my perspective and kickstarted my journey to embrace vulnerability and imperfection. And if you're not much of a reader, you can check out Brené Brown's Netflix special, The Call to Courage, as well as her Dare to Lead podcast on Spotify. Basically, I put on my lip balm before I sleep so that the next day when I wake up, I don't like wake up with like absolutely cracked lips to the point where I have to like take scissors and cut out the skin. I don't know why. I just say that I'm sorry. And I'm sleep deprived. I might sleep tonight, but I don't feel like sleeping. I think I'm running on caffeine. I think this is not healthy. I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm feeling. But thank you for listening. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Aaron Low Xianwei. So that's AARONLOHXINWEI. Aaron Low Xianwei. You want to reach out to me, ask me anything, suggest a subject matter or topic that we want to talk about in the next episode. Or if you want to be Aaron, I'm so sorry that you have to edit this podcast because it's an absolute mess. This is your past self talking to your future self. My deepest and sincerest apologies that you have to edit this. Alright guys, so I just want to say thank you for listening. Okay, I think I need to relax. Bye.